Hello everybody, this is Canadian Penguin, and today I am back with a little bit of a different video today. This video is I really hope it helps a bunch of new people to the game, either if you're on PC or the new consoles and whatnot with the Crime Wave edition. But I'm going to be doing a little video. Actually, a little, I don't know how long it's going to be, depending. I haven't really planned this video out too extensively. I'm just going off the top of my head for most of this, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be 15 minutes, less than that, more than that. I really don't know. I'm just going to ramble on about different types of builds for the game. As you've noticed, you can see all my stats right here at 0 because I have respec all my skill trees, and I'm going to be talking about 5 different types of skills and perks that I recommend for just anybody who wants to try out some new builds or doesn't know any good builds yet. And these are probably some of the most common ones. One of them's not very common. One of them's one that I really like to use because it's really fun and it's just really good, but all the other ones are very common. You might have heard of them. But yeah, so let's get into it. So we're going to go into our skills or perks. I've already reset all my skill trees, but I've named with the 5 different types of builds I want to talk about. So the first one is going to be MasterForcer, which you may have, a lot of people use MasterForcer just because it's really good for jack of all trades, kind of. You get the Mastermind perks as well as being an Enforcer as well. So you can deploy double ammo bags, double medic bags, as long as you have the available points. Keep in mind, I did save to do, I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while, but I wanted to wait until I was up at level 100 again, just so I could show you all the things, all the perks you can buy when you're level 100. So you can be there's MasterForcer, Master Tech, which is Mastermind and Technician, Techforcer, which is Technician and Enforcer, Silent Killer, which is the one I really like to use. It's an interesting build. You can either make it very selfish and not helping your teammates at all, really, or you can make it very team friendly, but you'll still feel the benefits of it. I'll go more in depth of what Silent Killer really is. And stealth, and I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different builds for stealth because there's a couple different ones you can use. I'm going to be respecking that tree quite a bit just to show you all the different things you can do to have a good stealth build. And keep in mind, all of this is pretty much my own personal opinion of what I usually play as. But so for the MasterForcer, first thing, the main 2 trees you're going to want is obviously the Enforcer and the Mastermind. But there are a couple perks that I would recommend getting regardless of any build you're doing. First of all, I would really recommend going into the Ghost tree, buying Cat Burglar, and acing it, acing Sprinter, and acing Fast Hands. These 3 perks I feel are some of the most important perks in the game, as they're really about, like, Cat Burglar is taking less damage from falls, and everyone just ends up, like, you run downstairs and you take fall damage. It's kind of dumb, and for this you take a lot less damage. With Sprinter, it means you can sprint a lot longer, meaning you're always running for the most part. No matter what build you're using, Sprinter is always really nice. It gives you more stamina and makes you sprint faster as well. So, and then we have Fast Hands, which is probably one of the most important perks in the game. Whoops. Let's see, there we go. Fast Hands. You can pack and interact with loot bags 25% faster, and then it increases it further to 50%. And it makes a really big difference. Also, actually, no, yeah, nothing in there for maybe. But so, for Mastermind, a perk you're really going to want to get while you're going up this tree anyways, for the most part, MasterForcer is kind of I'd say mostly Mastermind, and with quite a bit of Enforcer. So you're going to want to go for Endurance, which is very important. Cable Guy is, it doesn't really matter. I say this is more of a stealth orientated perk. You don't need to have it, but it is kind of useful. But before we go into that, I'm going to go into one more, I'd say essential perk, and that's in Enforcer. And that is the Transporter perk, which means you carry bags 50% faster and you throw them 50% further. And I say this is another one alongside, Fast Hands. This is another one of those very essential perks that I think everyone should be using. So we're going to progress up Mastermind, and we're going to be trying to go for Inspire, which we'll be able to reach because we have enough skill points. It might take you, like, if you're starting any of these builds, well, most of them at least, I would say to always get these perks at the very, very least. Just these 5 perks are probably the most essential perks, I'd say, in the game. That's my opinion. Other people's opinions may vary. You may not find some of them important, but I really find them all extremely important. So now, we're gonna go and progress on here. I'd say Control Freak is very, very useful because once you ace it, you get the inside help assets, which are very useful most of the time. And on most dentist heists, they're very, very, very useful. Okay, so from here on, this is kind of where it varies what you want to do. You can either get Dominator, which is very, very, very helpful. Your opinion may vary on that, but I mean, you'll either think it's helpful or you'll think it's essential. I think it's more helpful than anything else, but I would honestly prefer going with Equilibrium, where it gives you more damage and more fire rate with your pistols, because I usually like to use a pistol as a sidearm, and I find that very, very useful. As you can see, we have 5 more points until we unlock the next tier anyways. So this is where we can pick up Dominator, even just the basic one, or we can go the full one, which is also very useful. As you can see, we have 1 more skill point left, so I'm going to use Spotter, because that's very, very useful when you're dealing with bulldozers. Now from here on, first thing you're going to want to do, I would say just skip Joker for now and get Combat Doctor, because it's always nice to have 2 medic bags. And now on from here, as you can see, we've unlocked the next tree. I would actually very, very highly recommend Kilmer. A lot of people don't even realize this perk is here, but you may have seen it, but no one really knows what the ace is. But the ace is very useful. Run and reload. You can reload your weapons while sprinting. This is a perk I like having in almost all of my builds if I can have it. If not, I mean, I can deal without it, but honestly I think this is a very, very great perk, and I don't know if a lot of people even know it's even all the way up here, but it's very, very useful to be able to run and reload. And it increases your reload time, and your accuracy with assault rifles and sniper rifles. So, and now we're going with the main perk of why people go with Mastermind, which is Inspire, which means you can yell at people to revive them. You can revive them through walls. I mean, you just gotta keep on spamming your F button, or whatever it is on console. I don't know what it is on console, but yeah, you just keep on spamming that button and you'll just try and revive your teammates. You can revive them through walls as long as you're close enough. It's very, very useful. And plus, if you shout at them, like if they're trying to, say if your teammate's carrying a really heavy bag like the server in Hoxton Breakout or an artifact or something, if you're close enough and you yell at them, it increases their movement speed, and you revive people 50% faster. Very essential. This is probably the main reason why people like Mastermind so much, is because of Inspire. Well, Inspire aced, to put it like that. So now this is MasterForcer after all, so we're going to go into our Enforcer tree, and we're going to build up some stuff in here too. This is there's a lot of really good perks in here, especially pretty much these 3 right here, I say are probably some of the best ones you can get in Mastermind, in Enforcer. So these down here are pretty much all up to you. I'd say read through them all and figure out which ones you like the most. I personally like going with Pumping Iron, just because meleeing people sometimes really comes in handy. And now, so this one I'd say it's a really good perk. It's not essential, but it's really, really, really helpful. And this is Stun Resistance. So it pretty much, so you know when you get flash, you just can't see anything. It's really, really, really annoying. This reduces the amount of time you're flashed for, which is very, very, very helpful. Now, as you can see, we have 5 more points so we can get to the next tier. So this is pretty much where your preference comes in again. Just pick some perks down here that you think will be useful. The Underdog is always nice, but this one's good for stealth and for Dominator. And you know what? Just because we have Dominator on, let's go with this here. Yeah, these 4 perks here are mostly your personal preference. And let's do Die Hard. There we go. Now we can get Ammo Specialist. And now we can place 2 ammo bags, and they have additional ammo. Or if we go back to Mastermind, we can place 2 Doctor bags that have double the amount as well. So that's very, very, very useful. Another good perk to get would be Fully Loaded, which increases your ammo capacity and increases your ammo pickup. So all the little tiny like things of ammo that enemies drop, this helps with that. So it's really I find it's kind of hard to run out of ammo when you're using Fully Loaded, as long as you have I don't know, like as long as you're not using like an RPG or something, you're good. So, and actually I think that's all I would really put in here. Some other things I would probably grab. Let's see here. I honestly can't remember what I put in here. Dead Presidents is nice, but after a certain point you really don't care anymore. It's like, oh, these little $1,000 things, I don't care if I'm getting 13,000 or like 1,000. It doesn't really... After a certain point I would say you barely even really care about it anymore. Run and Gun, that's actually a very good perk. I would actually put that in here. Run and Gun, as you can see, when you spend 4 points, that's just acing any one of these pretty much. Let's go here. There we go. So Run and Gun, if we ace this, as you can see we're almost out of skill points here. This gives us an additional 10% movement speed, and it makes our movement speed unhindered while using Steel Sight, which is very nice if you're aiming on the sights. You're not slowed down at all. Which, I mean, can either be a good thing or a bad thing depending, but let's see what we have in Ghost here. Let's do Martial Arts. 50% more likely to knock down an enemy with a melee strike. And Shinobi, which increases your walk speed and your crouch speed, which is always very nice. So that's my little thing for a MasterForcer. If we go into perk decks, as you can see I have almost all of them unlocked except for the newest one that came out yesterday. But so we have Muscle, which basically increases your health, Armorer, which increases your armor, Rogue, which is a more dodge-orientated skill set, perk deck, not skill set. And I'll go over more about the two that I like to use for dodge. Hitman, which is more centered towards additional armor recovery rate, but you're losing armor from it, and you also get akimbo pistols. Crook, which is another dodge one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, dodge one. And Burglar is a stealth one, which I'll go over later also. Infiltrator, these are the ones I haven't really used very much, these 4 down here. Infiltrator, Sociopath, Gambler, and Grinder. I haven't used those ones at all. But honestly, for most of these, I would actually recommend going with Muscle, just because it's a very nice perk deck to have, having more health and whatnot. So, as we progress on with our list here, we have done our first one so far, all points spent. Now we're going to go into Master Tech, and as you can kind of guess, it's a Mastermind and a Technician, but we're still going to have perks from all other trees, like those essential perks I was talking about. Well, it's essential to a certain degree. It's really based on your opinion as well. This is just what I think are pretty much the most essential perks. So we're gonna start here, and honestly, a lot of people don't play as Technician just because they're like, oh, whatever, I can wait for the drill. But Technician is a very, very, very awesome a skill tree to go down. Just because drills, pretty much, and you can get shockproof and bulletproof, which are both very, very, very good perks. So, we're going to start with getting Endurance again. We're just going to get all the ones, well, yeah, okay, so we have all of our basic perks, all the essentials. So we're pretty much just going to copy the exact same skill tree as the last one. Pretty much the exact same thing. How many more? One more point. Let's do Spotter. Oh yeah, another good perk I'd recommend for if you have extra points and you don't want to spend them, like if we go back to MasterForcer, jumping back, if you don't want to spend points on random other things, you can also try and put them in Gunslinger, which is also very, very, very good. As you can see on the side, I can't move my mouse, otherwise it'll move it out of the way. But you reload pistols 50% faster, and you deal 15 more damage, which is very, very, very nice. So going back to our Master Tech here, we now have our Inspire, which is probably, I don't know, this is another opinion one, probably the best perk in the game, I'd say. Easily best perk in the game. But so we're going to go on to our Technician now, and we're just going to start building up our drills. From here, this doesn't really matter. I'd go with Nerves of Steel, just because why not? You're just going to want to max out your drills, but you're not going to want to max them out on silent drilling, because it's kind of pointless to have silent drilling if you're just, what's what I'm looking for? If you're going loud, there's really no point. So I would honestly just focus on some of these ones down here, like Rifleman and Sharpshooter. And as you can see, we still need another 6 points. So up to here, it's up to you. You can either go down the route of sentries, or you can go down the route of C4 and sentries. Doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you. It's personal preference. Do not go with silent drilling. I mean, if you want, you can just not get these perks and start focusing and building up your sentry gun, because the sentry gun is very nice. And you know what? We're just gonna get our sentry gun because we need more points. How many more? 5. Let's just go here. And let's just put single point down there. There we go. So now we can get shockproof, which pretty much means that you cannot get tased, I'm pretty sure. I've used this perk before and I'm pretty sure you don't get tased with it. Taser shock attacks backfire and knocking back the taser, so... Sorry to get a drink there, my throat's getting kind of dry from just rambling on here. Interacting with enemy taser while he's electrocuting you will electrocute him, dealing 50% damage to his health. That's one that you can either get or not get. Honestly, I think the basic of this perk is pretty decent. So here is Shape Charge, but we only need 5 more points to get Bulletproof, which I'd say is probably the best perk in Technician, and of course it's all the way at the top. So I'm just going to conserve points here and just try and get some cheaper ones, just so we can max out Bulletproof, which again gives you improved armor, giving you 50% more armor pretty much, and your armor recovery rate is increased for you and your crew by 25%, so that's also really good. Also, I'd recommend going with the muscle deck for this. So there we have our Master Tech, which is also a very good skill tree, very helpful, especially alongside a MasterForcer or any other kind of loud build. It's always good to have a Master Tech in your team. So now we're going to go with our Techforcer, which is probably the one class that can just take a ton of damage. I'm just buying all the essential perks right here. This is what I'd honestly just buy these essential perks for every single class, because I'm pretty sure every single class benefits from these perks. There we go. Okay, so this is our Techforcer. So we're going to start off in the Enforcer tree. We're probably just going to follow the exact same route as the last one. So let's go... What did I go with last time? I can't even remember. Let's do Pumping Iron, get some stun resistance in here. Let's go Die Hard. How many more points do we need? 4 more points. Okay, we'll ace that because we're going to be having great armor recovery rate. That'll be very, very nice. And let's go with Underdog. Now we can go Ammo Specialist. Fully loaded. And that's actually, I think, all I would recommend putting in here. Just these perks right here. Most of them ace, except for Underdog. Now we're going to go with Technician. This is where we're going to pretty much just build up how tanky our character is going to be. So we're just going to max out all these drills, 'cause if you're putting stuff into tech, you might as well get the drills, because they're very useful. And let's just do pretty much what we did last time. 4 points. What did I put last time? You know, I'm just going to ace that. Gonna get some shockproof. I think we have 5 left yet. So we're gonna add 3 more trip mines to our inventory, which you can, if you want, you can, I'm not sure if you have enough points to do that, but you can have shape charges, which is C4, and you can mow things down a lot easier, like for doors and stuff like that, instead of having to wait to pick them and stuff like that. Sometimes you can just put C4 on them, or even like smaller safes instead of having to wait for them to drill. Let's see here, we need 1 more point, so let's just put a point in this one, I guess, because why not? Okay, so now we can max out our bulletproof. And for this build, I'm just going to buy Shinobi, just because the walking speed and the crouching speed is always good to have. From here you have 11 points available left, well 12 if you don't want to buy Shinobi. Shinobi's not necessarily something that you need, per se. From here, you can actually go with Mag Plus, which is also kind of nice, but it can kind of be detrimental, especially say you're using the new Cavity 9mm gun. and that thing has 33 rounds in each clip, and each magazine, but only has a total of 66 ammo, so you get two magazines exactly. And this would kind of throw that off a little bit by giving you 15 extra rounds in each mag, but totally up to you if you want to get that. I'm going to go shaped charges. I can't speak today. And then from there we have 3 points left. And I think I'm just going to throw this into Control Freak. And, oh, I don't know what I'm going to throw this into. They're just kind of 3 extra points that you can either use or not use. Let's just go 5% more damage against special enemies. And martial arts. And there we go. And also, I would recommend probably going with muscle for this one too, just so you get more health and whatnot. I'm sorry for the things in my top thing. Whenever I seem to turn off my Steam notifications and stuff, it doesn't always want to turn off. It's kind of weird. So now we're going on to another one. This is my probably personal favorite, and there's 2 different ways you can make this, and this is the silent killer builds, which pretty much rely on weapons that have silencers on them, because it gives silencers extra damage. And sometimes you can just get guns that are just extremely overpowered, like, let's see here. Let's do the golden AK. Actually, we'll go back to the golden AK after we build this, this set. So, the first one, this is the more team-orientated silent killer. We're going to start by putting stuff in the mastermind tree. Well, we're going to start with getting all of our essentials. Okay, so now we have all of our essentials. One thing we're going to want to start with here, pardon me, is, as you can see, this is Silent Killer right here, and it's a very, very good perk. You deal 15% more damage with all silenced weapons, and you deal 15% more damage and have a 20% chance to pierce enemy armor. So you pretty much get 30% more damage just from this one perk, and a 20% chance to pierce armor. And then there's the Professional, which increases some other stuff. This one's not necessary, but... oh, actually, here we go, never mind. You gain a 20% chance to pierce enemy armor with silenced weapons. So you get 40% chance, pretty much, to penetrate armor, which is very, very good against bulldozers. And you get 30% more damage on all your guns. Very, very useful. So we're going to go just with SMG Specialist, I guess, because SMGs are very good for Silent Killer. So we're going to get Silent Killer, aced, and we're going to get the Professional aced. Now from here, this is completely up to you. You can get Moving Target, which for this build is very nice, and for dodge builds as well, which I'll go back to afterwards. I'm going to do a couple dodge builds too. I didn't list them on here, but I forgot to. I'm going to do them now. But for the most part, Moving Target isn't actually all that great to have on dodge builds, just because you have to waste a bunch of points in this tree just to get stuff you're never going to use. So for Silent Killer, Moving Target is very nice to have. We'll come back afterwards and see if we have the 12 points to throw into it at the end. So, we're going with our more team-orientated Silent Killer. I forgot to buy that aced. Buy that aced, that's very good to have aced. We're just going to build this up here. We're pretty much just going to make this the exact same as last time, but instead of Dominator, we're going to make sure we get Equilibrium. I cannot speak today, I'm sorry. And you have 5 points left, so we're gonna get Spotter. Okay, not full Spotter. We're gonna get Dominator as well. We're gonna get our 2 Combat Doctor bags, and we're gonna want to get Gunslinger. And you're gonna want to get that aced, and Kilmer aced, as well as Inspire aced. As you can see, we don't have any points left for Moving Target because the ace is really the one that I like having personally. So from here, this is pretty much this is kind of like your opinion of what you want to do here. You can either go with Pistol Messiah, which is always a really good perk, Hostage Taker, or even where did it go? 9 Lives, which is also very good, giving you the ability to go into bleed out one more time before going into custody. And when you go into bleed out, having a 35% chance to get back up. You're not going to be able to get that though, you're just going to be able to get 9 lives. So, you know what, we're going to get 9 lives here. And we're also going to get Hostage Taker, because this is another very good one to have. from this point, this is kind of your opinion about how you're going to run your silent killer build. You can either go with muscle, giving you more health, pretty much having guns that are just really beefy and whatnot. Or you can go with, where'd it go? Rogue, which you can run this with armor, like with a bunch of armor on, which that's what I usually do. I usually have muscle on though. But with a rogue, if you have it maxed out, you can get killer instinct, which gives you another 25% chance to pierce enemy armor, which gives you, what is that in total? 40 plus 25, that would be 65% chance-ish. It probably kind of counts differently to what it does, but that's a lot of chance to pierce enemy armor and just go right through their armor, which is quite ridiculous. That's more than that's like 1 out of 2 bullets going through enemy armor, which is pretty good. So, you know, for this one, we're going to go rogue, just because the killer instinct. But if you have muscle or rogue, I'd probably recommend muscle for newer players and whatnot, because you get a lot more health, and more health is always really good. I usually go with more health. But we're going to come back to our golden AK here, which is pretty much the AK 7.2, but the gold one from the community stuff. So we're going to modify this thing a little bit, and this isn't really a thing about modifying weapons and whatnot. Maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. But I just want to show you guys just what can really happen when you just go all out on a silent killer build, and it actually, for the most part, it's pretty ridiculous how good you can make these things. Look at all these gauge mods, 58 of these. I really don't need 58 of them. Let's just go with the rubber grip. Go with the low drag mag. And let's go with the 2-piece. The 2-piece is nice looking. So we have this suppressor, which is the PBS, which doesn't take away any damage. Probably the best suppressor for the AK if you are going with a silent killer build. As you can see, it does 61 damage. I usually, whenever I use this gun, I usually actually put it in a single fire, which I do with most of my silent killer builds. Is putting it in single fire, just because most of the time, well, not putting it in single fire through that mode in case you want to go full auto, just pressing Alt or whatever button it is on console to switch through the modes. And you can do a lot of damage with these things, like that 16 damage from skills alone. Then we're going to go here and buy a new pistol. I'm going to go with the Leo pistol, because the Leo is very good for silent killer as well. And we are going to put, where's the small one? No, where's the big one? It's the big one we want. The bigger the suppressor, the lower damage that they take away. So it would usually be the Jungle Ninja, which I don't have anymore, which I have it on one of my other silent killer pistols. Where did it go? Is it this one? There we go, most definitely. So this is my Glock, this is my silent killer Glock. As you can see, it has a rate of fire of 1500, which is insane. And damage of 54. Sorry, taking another drink, my throat's getting kind of dry. But yeah, damage of 54, and I mean, that's a lot of damage for a pistol. That does more damage than this golden AK. Oh wait, never mind, that's 61. It almost does as much damage, not really, as the golden AK, but that's a lot of damage for a pistol. As you can see with my silent killer P90, you can also put on anything else. I'm running it on the Tommy gun, just because why not? But the Glock is probably one of the best ones. This is the custom Glock that came out during the Election Day heist, which is a long time ago now. But yeah, this is the custom Glock. This is community item, and it's probably one of the best things you can get with silent killer is probably an AK. But I've been running this on it. I've been using the cavity, and as you can see, it does 108 damage. This is the new golden green gun. 108 damage, which is just ridiculous. Here's the AS Val, which came with the Sokol character pack, which is 51 damage. And that's still a lot. Like, for suppressors and whatnot, it's kind of crazy. And plus, this is the team-oriented silent killer build, which has the mastermind perks. And as you see, we have our stuff in here for silent killer. But now, we're going to go on to the more selfish version of the build, which would be going into Enforcer, pretty much giving yourself a ton of ammo and giving you a lot of damage by different ways of doing that as well. You can go through Technician if you want, and get all the way up to Shockproof and Bulletproof if you really want to. I do recommend Mastermind though, the team-oriented one, just because you get Kilmer. And Kilmer aced, like I said before. Very useful, and you get to help your teammates. But here in Enforcer, we're just going, actually we're going to go back and buy our Mastermind perk. There we go. So we're just going to start, I can't believe I didn't buy that ace, I feel dumb. We're going to go back up our tree here, and these 5 down here are pretty much your personal opinion of what you want to do. We're going to go with Pumping Iron again. Then go with Stun Resistance. And from here, again, your opinions of what you want to put down here. I am just probably going to put ones down here just so I can continue up. The lower tier perks usually aren't the most useful. Let's go Tough Guy. There we go, Ammo Specialist. And Fully Loaded. Fully Loaded is very good for this different, for the more selfish silent killer build. And you can put it in your you can get shotguns with silencers on them if you want to, which is also very good. Or you can also get the Berserker perk, which is also very useful, and I'd say pretty good for silent killer, because the more, as you can see by Berserker, the lower your health, the more damage you do. And it's kind of ridiculous. It's pretty crazy. And here we go. Let's see. So say you're like have a little bit of your health, like here you go, 25% of your health, below 25%, you do 100% more damage with your ranged weapons. So if you have your AK out 61 damage, that's 122 damage, if I did the math right. 122 damage. That's ridiculous. It's a little overpowered. But as you can see, we have 15 skill points left, so you can put them up the ghost tree if you want to go all the way into 9 lives. Which I don't really think is worth it, because I mean 35% chance, and you only go down with this perk 4 times before going to custody. I mean, might make you pop back up once, but all honesty, I'd rather go through the shotgun route of this, which is very useful. You know what, we're going to go the one that does more damage. Here we go. Reload. As well as hipfire. See, we have 3 points left, so we're just going to throw these in some Mastermind perks. Stability. And might as well get some more money out of it. There we go. So, going on with this silent killer build, you can go with the said AK before. Oh, let's go into our shotguns here. And the Raven is probably my favorite shotgun in the game, so we're going to go with the Raven. We're just going to modify it a little bit. Let's go with the long barrel. No point having the short barrel. And we're gonna go with the which is probably the coolest looking suppressor in the game, I'd say. It's kind of cool looking, and doesn't take away a lot of damage. Actually, no, it takes away 15. Yeah, we're just gonna go with the shush. And you can put whatever gadget on you want. I'm not gonna throw it on there just because kinda don't feel like throwing it on right now. Seymour. Yeah, let's go with the Seymour sight. I'll throw that on too. So when you put whatever, let's put, I don't know, you can put whatever one you want on there. But 77 damage with this shotgun, which is pretty good. Has a silencer on it, so you're getting the a really good chance to pierce enemy armor. I mean, if you want to, you could go with the flechette rounds and have even better, like you can pierce armor even better. Or any of these other rounds. Buckshot's probably the best one to go with. That's a lot of damage. 77, that's pretty good. You can put that on the Judge, like this, the pistol shotgun. But yeah, that's a Silent Killer. Silent Killer focuses on, you know, silence guns and doing a lot of damage with them, and armor piercing, which is always really good. So for the second to last one I want to talk about, which is Stealth. We're going to go with our Stealth build here quickly. Stealth, going to want to go with your essential perks as always. This is where a lot of your opinion comes in. I'll try and show you, since I kind of deleted all of mine. Can't really remember them 100%. But I'll try my best to show you guys what I usually run for Stealth. So, we can go with our essential perks here. Here we go. So, for Stealth, I try and get as many things in all these as possible. Fugitive, we're going to be climbing up this tree quite a bit. So the first thing you want to do is Hidden Blade, and you're going to want to ace it. That's probably the second most important perk in this skill tree. But you're going to want to go with Sixth Sense, which gives you, if you stand still for 3.5 seconds, you start highlighting people around you in a 10-meter radius through walls and everything, so it's a really, really great perk to have. But we're going to come back to the fugitive tree afterwards to start building this tree. So we're going to want to go with just aced, with basic shinobi, don't go aced, since you already get that perk right here, which is same, three points, but you don't want to do it twice. It doesn't really make a difference. You're going to want, you want to go with Chameleon, which is very good as you can mark guards when you're encasing, I just can't speak today. With Chameleon, you can mark guards while you're in casing mode, and it also increases your concealment by 25%. This is a very, very good perk for any stealth build, as one day when I eventually do the Alesso Heist stealth guide, or even the Golden Grin stealth guide, it's very, very helpful to have teammates with this on if you're trying to stealth. So up to here, this is your personal preference. I say I would go with Cleaner. And then you're gonna, just because you get one additional body bag. And then you're going to go with ECM Specialist, and you want to ace that as well. And you're also, if this is a personal preference, but I would definitely say ace ECM Overdrive, and if you can't ace it, just basic it, because it increases the duration. But the ECM Jammer, when you ace it, can be used to open doors, like some doors, which is very useful. And I would also go with Lockpicking Expert, as we'll go over this in a second here. So we're going to go with Camera Loop, because this comes in handy on a lot of missions. It comes in handy on Golden Grin, which I recently did, stealth. Comes in handy on, what's the other one? The Bomb Dockyard. Comes in handy on that a lot too. Comes in handy in quite a few maps. It's very, very useful. Oh wait, no, not Bomb Dockyard. The Diamond Heist. That's what I'm thinking of. It comes in handy on the Diamond Heist. Really, you kind of almost need it if you're doing the Diamond Heist on Death Wish. And that's all the perks I would probably get in here. Your damage doesn't matter when you're in stealth. If the person doesn't notice you, you insta-kill them with, even if your gun does 1 damage, you'll insta-kill them, because it's a stealth kill and it doesn't matter. So don't focus on any of these damage-based ones, because they don't help at all in stealth. So now we're going to climb up our fugitive tree here, and I would recommend getting Sixth Sense. I can't pronounce it today. But then I'd also recommend going with Winston Wolf, which gives you you have to pick up this body bag, but you can carry 1 additional body bag. I would also try and get the aced version, just because it's kind of useful, because you can't always not kill the person, like a civilian, so this reduces how much money you end up spending on killing civilians. Sometimes you just can't help it. Also recommend going with Daredevil, just so you can climb things a little bit faster. Let's see here. I'd also recommend going with Run and Gun, additional movement speed. You always want movement speed and stealth. I'll probably end up making guides on stealth alone, but with stealth, sometimes, as long as you're the host, you can just run right by people and they won't notice you, as long as you're fast enough. So, here we go. Honestly, that's all you really need to have a really good ghost build, I'd say. I would highly recommend going back into the Mastermind tree, getting Control Freak aced, getting Cable Guy aced, and getting Spotter aced. Just so you can get all of you can buy every asset, like you can buy the assets that are locked by, Inside Man, and you can also buy Spotter, and I'm pretty sure this also unlocks the, or is it Inside Man? I can't remember. One of them unlocks, the spy cams too, which are very useful as well. So yeah, you have 16 skill points left over to spend whenever you want. This I would kind of recommend going and getting the body bag deployable, which is very useful, because sometimes you don't always need ECMs. ECMs aren't always 100% necessary. So we're just going, what are we going to do here? Doesn't really matter, let's just put this in here. Don't need dodge, but so we're going to go with the Undertaker. We're going to ace that. And now we can carry around body bags with us, with us, which is very useful. Yeah, let's go with thick skin. There we go. So this is a stealth build I would highly recommend. Having all these perks in here, lockpicking super useful on a lot of missions. Camera loops very useful on some missions. And the perk deck you're going to want to go with this is the Burglar perk deck, because this gives you a lot of very good things. Like, where did it go? You bag corpses 20% faster. You pick locks 20% faster. You answer pagers 10% faster. And Dr. Bag. Where's the other one? I'm pretty sure one of them does something else too. Maybe we're just going crazy. Yeah, I'm just going crazy. But yeah, Burglar, probably the best perk for any stealth deck. Playing too much Hearthstone. for any stealth build is definitely the Burglar. There's no other one I'd recommend besides Burglar. All the other ones aren't really all that useful. So Burglar is the way to go. So we went through all our 5 basic ones, but I know a lot of people don't fully understand dodge very well. So we're gonna go back to our stealth. Actually, before we go on dodge, one thing I want to say about stealth, you can also, if you don't want to, well, I'd highly recommend climbing up the fugitive tree. But if you're trying to solo anything, there's also 2 different other routes you can go with. You can go with the up here with the drills and get silent drilling, which is very useful. Or you can go with Enforcer and get the portable saw, which is very good for bank heist, go bank. Any heist that has just a bunch of lock boxes you don't want to sit there and pick all day, you can just saw them all open. And I'd probably recommend building that into a ghost build if you're planning on doing some things just solo. So I know you can use the portable saw to do the train heist. So now that we have our stealth build, we're going to go and respec. I'm not going to respec that one because that's the essential perk. That is... oh, okay. Guess I reset this one without even paying attention. Wait. No, there we go. Okay, so the next one, this is going to be dodge. So we're going to go back and get our essential perks. Whoops. Yeah, for dodge, everything to make you faster is the most essential thing and most essential perks you can use. So while we're here, we're going to want to get Shinobi. But the dodge kind of builds more around the fugitive tree, and we're going to be trying to go for Sneaky Bastard, and Low Blow is also very, very good. So we're going to progress up here. With dodge, you're basically trying to bring your concealment as low as possible, and with that you dodge more bullets. So we can go with, we're going to want to get Hidden Blade first of all, at least just the basic one. Daredevil is also very good, increases your dodge. Duck and Cover, very good as well. One thing that some people I know don't really use, this is how I personally like to run dodge. We'll go more in depth on the perk deck later, but I like to have the lightweight ballistic vest on. So I like going into thick skin because it gives you more armor with the ballistic vest, and you'll see why I like doing this afterwards. But if you just want to go just in a suit, don't worry about getting this perk, just keep on progressing up. Highly recommend getting Brother's Keeper, very useful. Maxing out all of these, maybe not maxing out that one, but getting some ones for, what are they called again? First aid kits are very useful. And also just a quick little tidbit, first aid kits only replenish your health. So if you go down, this is for new people, if you go down and you get back up and you just want to get your health back, use a first aid kit, don't use a doctor bag. Doctor bags replenish health and downs, while the first aid kits only replenish health. So now more with that little side note, what we're going to want to do here is, oh, I thought I got Run and Gun. We're going to get Run and Gun. Here we go. Now we can get Low Blow, which is very, very, very useful. I'd say even more useful than Swan Song, especially on dodge builds. Then we have our Sneaky Bastard. So this, as you can see, let's see if I can sneak it up. No. Okay, well whatever, I can't move my mouse over there, but as you can see on the side, you get 1% dodge chance for every 3 points of concealment under 35 and up to 10%. And when you ace it, you gain 1% dodge chance for every 1 point of concealment under 35 up to 10%. So you basically gain a lot of dodge just by having Sneaky Bastard on and having a low concealment. Low Blow kind of works the same way, but with critical hit chance, which is also very useful. So we're going to come back over into here, into our other perks here. This is kind of where it's up to you. I'd recommend trying to go for Inspire, because Inspire, like I said forever, like I say it all the time, it's very, very useful, especially when you're using a dodge build. Just so you can run to your teammates really quickly and revive them. So this is personal preference down here again. Oh, whoops. 5 points. from here, I would honestly, because there's only 6 points until this one, you can either go with Kilmer, or you can go with Gunslinger. I would probably go with Gunslinger, since you're not going to have a lot of points after you reach Inspire. So now we're back down here, just grabbing some dinky little perks. And now we're going to get our Inspire, which we just have enough points for. If you want to, you can skip Low Blow, and that'll save you a couple points. And that'll be able to get you Kilmer Aced, which very, very good, especially for dodge builds. Or Gunslinger Aced, which is also very good, as you'll probably be using a pistol most of the time. I'm just going to change this, it's kind of deceiving. There we go, we got our dodge build there. So, with the dodge builds, you can either run them 2 ways, like I said before, right here with the ballistic vest. You can either run with or without a ballistic vest. If you're not using a ballistic vest, just don't worry about thick skin, but if you are running with a ballistic vest, like I usually do, highly recommend using thick skin. And if we go into our perk decks, I don't know why is Burglar on, oh yeah, extra doing stealth. So there's 2 different perks you can use for dodge. You can use Rogue, which is the one that focuses on, there we go, has 10% chance to dodge, 10%, 10%, and 25% chance to pierce armor. So this is very good for dodge builds if you're not using a suit. But if you plan to use a suit, which is what I usually do, you're going to want to use Crook, which gives you 10% dodge, 10% dodge extra if you have a ballistic vest on, and only if you have a ballistic vest on, 10% dodge if you have a ballistic vest, 15% if you have a ballistic vest, so you get a little bit more dodge than having no ballistic vest. And you get a really good armor, you get 10%, not really good, you get 10% more in armor recovery. I can never say that properly today. So honestly, if you're going to go with a vest on, I'd highly recommend Crook. Oh, that's not what I want to go. I want to go do armor. Here we go. So you can see that it already has 25 dodge, so I mean if you are in a suit you're still going to have more dodge, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it says you have less dodge. That's oh, it's because I have all those perks on and stuff. As you can see, that adds 45% dodge just right there, just from having those perks on. That's 45% dodge, which is a lot of dodge. But if we go back and we change our perk deck up here to the Rogue, this is one nice thing about it, you can always switch between the 2 if you want to run with a vest or without a vest. Let's go to no vest. You can see that adds 30% dodge, giving you 40 dodge, which is really good. It's more than this one. But but I like having the extra security of having the ballistic vest, just because, you know, suit don't have a lot of armor on. So I recommend going with the one with the vest on, just for extra security. And then one day I'll probably go over a whole other video on dodge, where it'll just be pretty much going over what to do for dodge and how it works exactly. But yeah, so that's the video for today. I don't know how long it is. I can't really check. Probably quite long. I've been rambling for quite a little while here. But yeah, I just want to thank, if you made it to the end of the video, I congratulate you. It's probably a long video. And I want to congratulate you for making it to the end of the video. And I will see you all in the next video. I'll probably be doing another stealth guide sometime soon, maybe. I'm working on a headphone review right now, actually. But yeah, so coming soon, headphone review, maybe another stealth guide. If you want to learn how to stealth, I have a bunch of stealth guides on a bunch of other missions that I've done, and there's quite a few of them. I've done almost every mission except for some of the newer ones in a stealth guide. But yeah, so I just want to thank you all for watching the video. Please leave me a like if you liked the video, if you found it helpful. Leave me a comment, I love hearing what everyone has to say. Subscribe for more Payday content in the future. I'll leave links below. As you can see, my person's kind of closer to the screen here. That'll be in a link below. This is for BLT mod. This is the poser mod for BLT. But Hoxa doesn't work with it. I'll leave a link for Hoxa in the description. Also, leave a link in the description for my Steam group if you feel like joining that as well. I'll have, after I'm done talking, there'll be some links to some of my other videos. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.